William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're at a media workout here at the Reebok Gym in Canary Wharf. With me, I've got Johnny Nelson. Johnny, you got the tripod, the mic, levels, brother.
You just turn all professional. Like usually it's like a one-man band, you and your camera talking like that. Things are all over the place. Now we've got a stand, microphone, can see your full face. Watch out for when you try and, what do you call it, peanut me. I'm ready, boy. I'm ready.
You weren't ready for that. You weren't ready for that. Johnny, I'm going to come onto the bad intentions card for a moment, but I haven't spoke to you since Dusseldorf. Another prediction you got right, obviously. You're on a roll now with this. I think you've had about 19 in a row.
Get something right here. How he boxed, I said that's the only way he could win the fight. Exactly what he did. I didn't say he would be able to execute it. I said, but that is the only way to beat Vladimir Klitschko, and that's what he did. I just think he could do it. And the other thing that bugs me is all these people that say, I told you, I knew he did it. I say 10% of the people actually believed he would really do it. So be man enough and big up your chest and say, you know what, I didn't think you'd do it, but I'm glad you did, because that's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what you should have done.
Okay, oh, hold on. In Dusseldorf, did I or did I not say to you that I believe that this is written for Tyson Fury on the 28th of November? Did I say that to you? Careful, careful.
Yeah, you did. But did you say, I think he's going to win?
What is, I believe it's written for Tyson Fury, but does that mean he's going to lose? I had a feeling for Tyson Fury. That's all I'm saying.
But I didn't think he'd win.
You never had a feeling. You were Team Klitschko all the way. You were sealing Vitaly's sauna the night before.
You're so stupid. And what I'm saying is, you know what? Fighters will respect other people if they tell the truth. Say, you know what? And it doesn't mean you're against the fight. Just say, look, I want you to win, but I don't think you will. Now, Tyson Fury, the only way he was going to beat him, which was predicted because you got it on tape, was how he fought. I just didn't think he'd be able to execute that for 12 rounds. But you know what? How he played the week out, about the gloves, about the bandages, about the ring, it exposed the Klitschko team for trying a few underhanded tricksters going on. But good on him. So respect to him, and I'm glad he did it. He's just turning it upside down.
Tyson Fury and his whole family haven't had a moment to really enjoy and savour this due to the negative and the bad press that has come out this week. What is your take on this, including BBC Sports Personality of the Year, Johnny Nelson?
Well, as I said before, once you become world heavyweight champion, you inherit a responsibility. And I'm not saying you have to be a role model. I'm not saying you have to be a certain type of person. What I'm saying is you've got the responsibility of being a world heavyweight champion. So therefore, what you say, you've got to check what you say. And you've got to be careful what you say, because at one point it was the richest prize in sport, being a world heavyweight champion. So therefore you've got eyes from all over the world on you. Listen to what you've got to say. So that's why you've got to check yourself, and sometimes consider what you're saying. Be ready to back up your argument and make sure you're quoted word for word on what you're saying, because otherwise it backfires.
You've been branded a homophobic, been branded a sexist. What did he really say? Let's talk about the sexist comments first of all. What did he really say? He said Jessica looks good in a dress. Is that sexist comments?
Well, really? I don't think it's just that. I think it's things that he is verbally attributed to. So therefore, he just needs to be careful in what he says. If he thinks it, you know, I can't stop what you think in your mind. You can't stop what I think in my mind. That's human nature. But when you vocalize it, and when you're the world heavyweight champion, and everybody all of a sudden all over the world knows who you are, that's when you've got to check what you're saying. And then again, we've got to. Again, he's putting himself in a position to be shot down. If he's going to be set up, as long as these words don't come out of his mouth, or he doesn't give people opportunity to say these words came out of Tyson Fury's mouth, then fair dues. So then he's got to stand up and say, actually, I never actually said that. Stand up and say it. You know, but if these words come out of your mouth, you're going to have to get the criticism that goes with it.
So what's the alternative? What, to be politically correct and to be a version of what the media wants you to be?
And I told you be yourself, and if yourself is...
You can't be yourself, because he's being himself, but he's not allowed to do that.
Well, what are you saying? What is himself? Because you got a phone call after we did our interview in Dusseldorf, and he actually said, I never actually said half those things that Oliver Holt put in the newspaper. You know, so should he stand up and say, well, actually, I didn't say that, you know, and correct it? Don't go out there and say, blah, 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 you this, that, and the other. Stand up and say, I didn't say that. You show me a tape recorder. You show me some video footage where I actually said that. You're making out as though this is what I said. And that's how you back yourself up.
As far as I know, his original gripe with the Oliver Holt piece was the headline, which didn't really reflect upon exactly what was in the article. If people just read the headline, they'd go away with a different feeling to.
Therefore, it's for Tyson Fury to come out himself and say, listen, I didn't say that. Listen, this is wrong. This is wrong representation. That's for him to come out and say himself. Don't just leave it there and say, you know what, he's out of order, blah, blah. That's the wrong way to deal with it, because therefore you're playing into people's hands.
I don't believe he's actually come out and said, I didn't say that. I think it's been taken out of context and written in a Daily Mail-esque way.
That is my point. So that's why you've got to, once you're the world heavyweight champion, you have a responsibility to check what you're saying, because people can construe what you're saying in a good or bad light. Now, if it comes out in a bad light, you've got to then stand up and say, no, that's not the case. This is what I said, because you've got a voice. People know who you are, and that's the situation. Should he be removed from Sports Personality of the Year? I don't know what their selection committee judging on. You know, there's many examples where you'd say something like Princess Mohammed, should he have been in the Hall of Fame? And they're talking about his personal life and things that have happened in his personal life. You know, this is their body, this is their board. They're the ones that decide who or shouldn't be on the list.
Naz should have been in the Hall of Fame. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, because of what he did in the ring, but then it was taken into consideration, or considered to be taken into consideration, what happened outside the ring. So we're going to separate the two. How's it going to work? What advice would you give to Tyson Fury at this point, after everything that's happened? What would you say to him right now? I'd get on the Alan Carr show. I'd sit down and just straighten things out. Do it that way. On a show like that, you know, sit down and just let people see who he is and be himself. Or something like that. Sit down, or Graham Norton show. Get on a show like that, and all of a sudden, you've got black and white sat there, and he'll be able to express his views and say, "Look, listen, this is what I actually said," you know, and then he could express what his real feelings are, instead of being misrepresented by a headline. Have you ever been asked on the Graham Norton or Alan Carr show? No. Have you been ever asked on any show? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 5 oh, damn. Yeah. You need him. We've got 3 minutes. Johnny, I'm going to interview you every day this week. I want to use you like the cheap ass, whatever you are. This card, sum for me up this card. I'm going to talk to you again because you've got to go, but sum for me up this card. Bad Intentions. I think this card is brilliant, and this is, to me, an exciting bill all the way down. We were in Dusseldorf last week. The most exciting fight was the top of the bill, and that was it. And Rod Stewart, chief support. This, to me, is a fight fan's favourite. Even the build up to it, I think the week's going to roll on, get exciting, get argumentative. It's going to have everything involved in it, and this is what a big fight night needs, a great build up. And I think, you know what, you talk to me, and I will give you an inside track on everything that happens backstage. All right, we're going to just follow you out. All right, listen, we're going to ask you, we're going to do Johnny Nelson's prediction of the day. What? Hold on. Yeah, so today, I'm going to ask you about, because Kevin Mitchell was just on, Kevin Mitchell versus Ismael Barrosa. Kevin Mitchell, 9th round knockout win. 9th round knockout win, yes. Oh, no, I said I'd never make predictions again. I'd like him to win in the 9th round by... No, you've already called that. And can you just do one more thing? What? Hold the mic. Ready? Now, I want you to apologise to the following people. Ready? Go on. Apologise to Callum Smith. Boys. Callum Smith. Anthony Crolla. Tyson Fury. Arthur Abraham. What am I apologising for? All the ones you lost. But it don't mean I have to apologise. It just means I got it wrong. To Arthur Abraham because I wanted Martin Murray to bust him up. It just means I got my prediction wrong. I was the only honest one that did that. Stick your man.
William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.